Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So, fountain pen focus day. Continuing with my Australian pens, here we've got a Just Turnings Enceladus in this gorgeous golden blue jay material from Brooks Blanks. Absolute stunner. So join me now, down on the table, we'll take a look at this gorgeous pen. We'll do some size comparisons, some weights and measures, a writing sample, then I'll give you my thoughts and some scores for this pen. Welcome down to the table. Today we're focusing on the Just Turnings Enceladus in this beautiful, gorgeous material. This is by Jonathan Brooks and it's called Golden Blue Jay. Now the background material, on the camera I always think it comes over black, but it's not. It's a really deep, what I want to call it is like an octopus inky blue. Then we've got these beautiful colours here coming through. Got golds, we've got a little bit of silver, we've got some green there, some teals. Up here we've got a bit of orange and a bit of brown. Absolutely stunning looking pen. Here we go. Let's pop that down. Let's take a walk through the body. So starting at the top we've got a slight dome to there. Here we go. You can see from the top. Same at the bottom. There's a slight dome at the bottom as well. We're coming into the cap. So the cap, I think there's a slight taper. It could be the same width, but to me there's a slight taper as we come down the cap. Bottom of the cap, there's a drop off to the body. It's noticeable, but I'm looking for it. In everyday use, I don't really notice it. The body, we've got the same width till about here, so about 3/4 of the way down. Then we've got a noticeable taper down to the end. The cap comes off in half. 1, 1.5, 2 turns to reveal the beautiful section in that same material. And this Yoho nib. So this is a standard Yoho nib. No decoration, no writing, just very plain. And it's gold coloured. It is a steel nib. Take the body off. There we go. There's a converter that comes with it. It is resin fittings. So you could potentially eyedropper it. I don't intend to. When I eyedropper things, I like to have an idea of how much ink is in there. So I like to have an ink window. But if it's something you like to do, that is an option. Absolutely love this pen. As I say, it's stunning to look at. Cap, I know we've taken the cap off. There's no clip. I like that. I just have on my desk this. This is actually made by Stephen's children. Stephen just is the guy who makes the pen. I believe they're both daughters. They made this and it came with one of the pens I bought from him. Really nice, and that just sits on my desk and the pen just rests on that when I'm using it. Let's swap over and do some size comparisons. Brought in my two standards, so we've got the Pilot Metropolitan and the Lamy Safari. The Just Turnings pen, longer than both of them, and also slightly wider than both of them. Let's take the caps off. With the caps off, the Just Turnings pen, still longer, still wider. Let's take off this, I'll show you in my hand. It's really nice unposted. The section, nice width, my fingers feel really comfy in there. It sort of posts just a little bit on the end. If you like your pens to post, when you contact Stephen to put in your order, you can work with him and actually say, you want it to post. That's down to you. I personally don't post pens, so it doesn't bother me too much. But it is postable. Let's swap over and fetch in some pens that are in roughly the same price range. The two pens I brought in, we've got an Opus 88 Omar, 176 Aussie dollars. We've got the Just Turnings Enceladus, $185 when I bought it. And then we've got the Narwhal Nautilus, and that comes in about 196 Aussie dollars. All three pens very similar in length. I would say the Omar is the longest and the Nautilus the shortest, but we're only talking about little bits. Width-wise, I would say both the Nautilus and the Omar slightly wider than the Just Turnings pen. The Omar, that's a Japanese eyedropper. The Nautilus, that's a piston filler. And all three pens have got number 6 steel nibs. Let's pop the caps on. With the caps on, I've had to space them out because the two pens, the Nautilus and the Omar, that much wider that you can't actually get them all next to each other. But again, we're looking at this, all three pens roughly the same length, and with the Omar still a lot wider than both the others, and the Nautilus to me a little bit wider than that Enceladus. Let's get these out of the way and fetch in the rule of measuring. Here's the rule of measuring. Let's fetch in the pen. So the total pen, if I can get it to sit still, that comes in at 14.7 centimetres. Unposted, here we're looking about 13.4 centimetres. I say it does sort of post. That comes in at 18.8 centimetres, really long. Feels like one of Harry Potter's wands. I know I say that about a number of pens. But I use it unposted, as I've already said, very comfortable. The width of the body, that comes in at 1.38 centimetres. The section, about here is the narrowest, and that's 1.07, and it goes up to 1.18. So we've got a nice, wide, comfortable section there. Let's swap over and fetch in the scales of weighing. Here's the scales of weighing. So the full pen, 20 grams. The body, now remember we've got a bit of ink in here, 15 grams. 5 grams for the cap. It's a fairly light pen. You know, it's made from resin, you expect that. A stunning pen though, I can't help. Sorry, I know I should stop doing that. It's a stunning pen, looks so nice. Let's get this out of the way and we'll fetch in the notepad of testing. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here's a notepad of testing. This is Oxford Optic paper, 90 GSM. I find it works really well with my fountain pens, and this is a black and red notebook in A5 size. Now I'm just agitating the pen because there is, I think it's a chameleon ink. It could be shimmer, but I believe this one's chameleon. So I just want to make sure I give a chance to get as much of that into suspension as possible. So let's write with this pen. So we've got a Just Turnings Enceladus. The nib on here is a broad. It's a Yoho broad, as I've already said. Price wise, 185 Aussie dollars when I bought it. This is a handmade pen. I've had this now about 18 months. The price has gone up, but the price is difficult because it depends what you want. So contact Stephen or visit his website, which is justturnings.com.au, I believe. I will put a link in my description for this video. There you get a better idea for pricing, I say, and then depending what options you want, how you want it, Stephen will be able to give you a closer price. The ink by Diamine, and it's a Rainbows End. Works really well in this pen. Just going to lift this up because I can see it on my writing already. Can you see there where we've got the Just in Just Turnings? You can see there that beautiful red coming through. Let's pop that down. And we'll look at drying times. So we've got immediate, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. Wow, look at that. Let's go on the line below and we'll do a 2-minute test. Still getting a little bit of a smudge there, even after 2 minutes. Exceptionally wet combo. Let's look at line variation. So here's going down with no pressure. I'm going to add a bit of pressure. Not really seeing a much wide line. It is slightly wider, but definitely putting down more ink. So no pressure with, none, and with. Going to move the mic down to the page and write a sentence. Seeing some of that chameleon coming out already. Lovely. I would say this is like a purple ink, but there's a lot of blue in it. So then we get that beautiful red hit. And final test. This is my flow test. Goes really well. So what are my thoughts and my scores for this pen? We'll start off with pen looks. Wow, that's all I can really say is wow. This is a stunning pen, absolutely beautiful, very, very nice. Love this material. So the camera, unfortunately, no matter what I do with my cameras, they don't really do these justice. It's a really stunning looking pen. For looks, I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Build quality, exceptional, handmade pen. You can see the care, you can see the attention that's been put into it. The threads really smooth, doesn't feel at all like I do with some of my other pens, which are mass manufactured, where they can feel really rough. Really well done. Solid, yes, it's light, but it feels so nice in the hand. It's a good, solid made pen. 9 out of 10. Writing experience, very nice. Comfortable to use. My fingers fit nicely there. I like the wide section. Feels nice in the hand. A little bit on the light side. But again, I'm being overly critical there. Writing experience, writes really well. 8 out of 10. With ink flow, beautiful. Exceptionally wet. That's one of the downsides. So if I'm taking notes, I have to wait, nearly 2 minutes before I can turn a page, which can sometimes take me out of my train of thought. So that's a slight negative. But the nib, it's smooth, it's nice. There's that little bit of tactileness that I like. It's so nice to write with. Ink flow, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. Comfort, really nice in the hand. As I've already said, does feel a bit light. But other than that, it fits well. It just vanishes when I'm writing. That's one of the things I like with pens, where apart from the tactile nature of the nib, the body just vanishes. It becomes part of you. Comfort, 8 out of 10. Value for money. Yes, I'm going to say this is not a cheap pen, but you've got to bear in mind it's handmade. It's not coming off a machine where they program the computer and it just goes ahead and makes it. It's done by hand. He turns it by hand. He sands it by hand. He polishes it by hand. He makes sure the threads are working properly. He makes sure the nib's working properly. It's a gorgeous pen. It's a well-made pen. I say handmade. Not cheap, but I think it is worth it. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So that means the total score for the Just Turnings Enceladus in Brooks Blank Golden Blue Jay with Diamine Rainbows End is 8.33 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on this pen? I think it's a stunning looking pen. This material is absolutely beautiful. The camera really doesn't do it justice. Please drop any comments down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.